GM's creative approach to bankruptcy involved a lot of politics and back scratching, and it might be just a playbook the states need who are in financial trouble. Mark Modica, former GM bondholder himself, who got hammered by the GM bailout, has been all over this. Okay, sir, go ahead. You know, we talk a lot about the GM bankruptcy and what happened. Tell us what happened to the bondholders.
Hi, Eric. Yeah, well, there was obviously favoritism as politically favored groups like the UAW did very well. I like to call it a wealth redistribution scheme. This money came from old GM shareholders, GM bondholders, and taxpayers, and it went to the politically powerful UAW, and investment banks are making money, and bankruptcy attorneys and advisors are making money. But all in all, it just sets a very bad precedence going forward.
And take it one step further, the precedent being, what if states were to do the same thing? What would happen to people who hold all those municipal bonds?
Right. I had a piece on the National Legal and Policy Center that I referenced, a Times piece that said they're thinking about the states filing, and there's some opinions out there that that would be devastating. Wall Street Journal piece states that you then have the possibility of unions again being favored over bondholders. Now municipal bonds have been known to be a safe haven. People are investing their money, getting only 1% because it's tax-free and it's deemed to be safe. That would no longer be the case if the government allows bankruptcy at a federal level.
And that's really the heart of it. The essence of it is that bondholders were supposed to be the first in line when there was any sort of bankruptcy or liquidation, right? But they get, you guys in GM, the GM bondholders, got put behind the unions. If that were to happen on the state level, it would be very, very difficult to make a case for loaning money to a town for water, for a sewer. Is that right?
Yeah, the treasurer actually for California, Bill Lockyer's, actually stated that this would be devastating. He called it a wrecking ball. If you set this precedent, taxpayers are going to get hit again, and once again, the unions will be favored, they'll be taken care of, and your taxpayers are going to have trouble raising money, and muni bonds are going to be a disaster. A lot of people in the know, like the treasurers, like the California treasurer, just are dead set against this.
Mark, before we lose you, before we let you go, why do you think the UAW was put in front of you, a GM bondholder?
Oh, it's so obviously that it was political favoritism. They pay money and they helped elect Obama president, and they obviously contribute a lot to the Democratic Party. Democrats were in power. The bondholders are not a politically powerful group. We didn't have representation, particularly the little guy. Institutions and the big investment houses, they get taken care of. But the little guy, nobody was really looking out for us, and UAW had the government behind them because they paid to get them in power, basically.
Mark, we're going to leave it there. We are looking out for you.
You are. Thank you.
We are. All right, Mark Modica, thanks for joining us today.
Excellent. Thank you.